Okay, Key Lead says, do you create separate Google account for each Google business profile, lead gen property? If so, what's the best way to do this? By phone verified accounts or create a new account under an existing Google account? No, I don't. Because I do a lot of single brand but multiple location stuff. So what I do is, I like to set up several lead gen locations underneath one brand. And then what I'll do is I'll purchase and I've talked about this before, guys. I can't reveal all my secrets here. It's something hangouts. I talk about this stuff in the mastermind, but I like to set up Google Workspace accounts. All you need is the basic or starter account, whatever. It's $6 per month. Okay. So set up a Google Workspace account. And here's the other thing. Register a domain through Google Domains. So Google domains.google is Google's domain registrar. It costs $15 instead of 11 at Namecheap, right? But when you buy a domain through Google Domains that you can use, first of all, you're buying a domain through Google, so you have to submit your credit card information and all that to purchase it, right? Register it. But through the checkout process, it's just a checkbox, and you just check a box if you want to add Workspace to that domain. And so if you've ever set up Google Workspace on your own, you got to mess with MX records and all that wherever you're managing your DNS, whether that's your registrar or Cloudflare or whatever. You got to go in and do all the MX records, and then you have to add your SPF records, your DMARC records, your DKIM, all of that stuff if you want to have email deliverability and all these things. And it's kind of a pain in the ass. And but if you just check the box as you're purchasing or registering a domain through Google Domains for the basic starter Workspace account or whatever, then they'll set it up automatically, and it works right out of the box, right? You don't have to do anything else. It adds all those records and everything that you need for email deliverability and all that kind of stuff. And then what I'll do is I will register the GMBs underneath that Workspace account. And because, like I said, most of what I do is I build brands that have multiple locations. And so I'll register several locations under that Google Workspace account. Okay. And then what happens if I want to continually expand and I get to a point where I'm starting to get uneasy about how many locations I have in that particular manager account or owner account, I should say, then what I'll do is I'll go into that Google Workspace account, log into that, then go to Google Domains again, and I'll purchase that same domain name, but with a different extension, .net, .org, whatever. And I'll select Workspace on that as well. Does that make sense? So now, so then I'll end up having the same domain, but with a different domain extension. And that'll become a secondary Google Workspace account. It's another $6 a month, but it's inexpensive. And then I'll go register multiple GMBs underneath that. Does that make sense? And that way I'm kind of separating them out. But I found that Google gives you a lot more leeway if you are a Workspace account owner. Like, in other words, if you're paying for that. And I think it's because it validates it. If you go out and buy phone verified accounts, free Gmail accounts, and then start registering GMBs, like, it's, in my opinion, just having that credit card on file makes it a lot less spammy, and it kind of raises the threshold with which Google will suspend your account. Does that make sense? And I've been really successful doing it that way. I've not really had any suspensions. When I tried to manage multiple accounts as an owner under one Gmail account, not a Workspace account, I have seen suspensions, but not under Workspace accounts. So, I mean, you tell me, have I proven one way or the other? No, except that, again, through my own experience under Gmail accounts, free Gmail accounts, I've experienced suspensions, not dozens and dozens, but I've experienced several suspensions over the last few years. But under Workspace accounts, none, not a single one. And that's knock on wood. So hopefully that makes sense.